Story. Libby Story. And we just went live there at 4. If Facebook's more your scene, we have that at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays. And if you like Instagram, then you're in the right place. We try to do, we do sometimes like the same thing. Sometimes it's different on both accounts, but usually on this wholesale accounts or the wholesale accounts, we try to do the same, just in case like y'all want to see, in case you just want to tune into one religiously every week. You don't feel like you're missing anything. However, we have our Ridgeland accounts, just Libby Story Ridgeland, on both Facebook and Instagram, where we go live weekdays at 12, like 12 noon on Facebook, and then 12:30 on Instagram, where we do things not necessarily wholesale related. We do things that are just out at the store, new arrivals, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, we do that every single weekday. And then, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Here we just do things that are related to our wholesale brand. By wholesale brand, I mean our brand called Libby Story. We carry it in our store, and then we have our brand in other stores. So if you're someone who owns a store and wants to carry Libby Story, you're in the right place. You're learning about our brand. And if you're just someone who enjoys Libby Story and wants to know what our brand's about, you're also in the right place. I have lots of cool things to show you today. Well, not lots, but just a couple very, very cool things to show you. They're from our fall collection. And we have a lot of really exciting things going on in the wholesale world. We got a lot of spring samples in lately. We've been doing lookbooks with those. We have our fall stuff coming in. We've been putting it out. We have the holiday collection coming up that we've been doing lookbooks with. We still have some of those samples. I've shown y'all some of that, but that should be coming in within the next couple of months. Lots of really, really cool things happening here. But today I'm going to focus on the fall stuff that we've been getting in. The next couple weeks I'll just pick a few of my favorite fall things, since that's coming up real soon. They should be arriving in stores. They should be, it's all here. I mean, now it's lots of good stuff. Alright, so before we go any further, I'm going to show you the top that I'm wearing. I have this top on. It is this tie-dyed kind of high-low shenanigans going on. It has bell sleeves. It's this gray and white tie-dye, super, super fun. Very neutral, but at the same time, just a little bold. And then we have this kind of tie detail. If you can see, like down the side, it has this kind of like tie that runs through about the elbow. It has the tie at the bottom. And then not only does it have that, it has this kind of like, it's like a V-neck that cinches right here, but then it like overlays right there. So you can see through it a little bit, like if you're moving around. But then it cinches right here at the bottom, so that way it almost looks like a wrap top, which I think is cool without it necessarily being a wrap top. It's higher in the front than it is in the back. I have on these kind of mid-rise jeans, and it hits me about the belt line, so if I were to have worn some kind of big belt buckle, there would have been plenty of room to see that belt and that belt buckle detail. And then the back, it pretty much goes a little bit below my butt, just to put it lightly. So that's that. This is this top, and then of course I have on this jewelry. Speaking of jewelry, if you want to see anything that we have from our wholesale line, including this top, all the fall things, all the holiday things, pretty soon we'll have spring up there, any kind of jewelry or whatever. If you go to libbystory.com, go to the shop tab, and at the very bottom of the shop tab, there's a tab that says wholesale. If you click on that, you'll be able to see everything we have that is wholesale that you can order for your store, or if you're just like curious. But it's made for carrying our wholesale in your store. And if y'all have any questions about how to sign up for our wholesale, just send us a DM, write a comment, just email us, whatever you need to do. You can always DM us on Facebook or here. We'll take care of you, and we'll get you emailed and squared away to set that all up. But anyway, for jewelry, I have on a couple rings. I have this really fun necklace on, and I'll just start with the rings. I have this kind of bar ring right here, and I love it because it's so simple, but it's so bold at the same time. It's just one piece of jewelry that looks like mini. And honestly, what this reminds me of, it's just like these little gold studs, but it really reminds me, they look like little pyramids or something, like little stone pyramids. I love that. I just think it's a really, like, it's just an interesting texture on it. And like I said, you can just wear it with so much. I end up gravitating towards it because it's just, like I said, it's just one piece of jewelry that looks like a lot, and you don't have to think about it any further. I can still like separate my fingers in it. I can still like move around. I don't feel like they're all stuck together. It's not adjustable, but I mean, it fits my fingers pretty well. I believe that my ring fingers are size 7. I don't know if that gives y'all any indication of how big the ring holes are, but it fits me. And then we got this one. It's this kind of like crystal. It's kind of clear crystal. And I believe we have a few different colors in this, or at least similar ones that have different color crystals. But this one is like a clearish kind of, really just like a clearish crystal. It's got these gold bands that go around it. And then the band that goes around my finger is adjustable. So if you are a little bit bigger fingered than I am or smaller fingered, you can just adjust that right there. It's no big deal. And what I like about this crystal is that one end is like sharpened, like cut, and then the other end looks like it was kind of broken off of a bigger crystal. So it looks like it was just snapped off, and one end is a little bit more polished than the other one. I think it's just a fun big ring, but at the same time, because it's a clear crystal and it's just like a simple gold band, you don't have to think very much about what it would go with. It pretty much goes with anything. Same as this one, just throw it on and you look like you have some chunky funky rings going on, but without having to think that hard. Lastly, as far as jewelry goes, I have this necklace on. It's this structured kind of stoned necklace, has all these kind of charms on it. And what's fun about it is this is how you get it on and off. It has these little balls on the end. It's just a structured band. It's got a green stone that's small, has this long kind of white stone that's like a little see-through, a little knot, has the crescent moon, and then we have another green stone that has an arrow shape, and that just hangs. And this band is like pretty pliable, not like super like you can just bend it around, but it's pliable enough to just slip it on your neck and slip it off. It doesn't hurt, it's not hard to get on or off, so that's it. And it's super cool looking. I don't see many necklaces like this, and we have a good many that have that kind of structured band right there with different kinds of stones hanging off of it. I just particularly like this one because I happen to be wearing some shoes that are kind of green, and this has this like light green stone in it, so it kind of brings the color up, even though this top is not like super colorful. It just has the grays and whites. I wanted to kind of add a little bit of color to it. Alright, that's pretty much everything I have on. I'm going to move over to the dresses that I have back here. And if you tuned in last week, I showed some tops that were extremely similar to this. Not the same, but extremely similar. They were tops. They were, I think, more tie-dyed, but they have some similar, like, elements to them. If you would like to see those tops, just check back at last week's live. You can't see last week's live here on Instagram, but what you can do is you can go to our Facebook page, Libby Story. We went live at 4. And you can check that. We have all the lives there. We have a YouTube channel called Libby Story where you can see any live we've ever done, whether it was here on the wholesale channel or on the Libby Story Ridgeland channels. They're all there. So if you want to see anything about that top, there are ways to see it. And that's kind of why we keep these wholesale ones the same, so that way you can just always go over to Facebook and find what you need. But these dresses, show the gray one first. It's this kind of like almost like distressed gray t-shirt dress. It has metallic that almost looks painted on. It's very like rough and edgy, which I like. It doesn't look like super manufactured and like it isn't. It makes it one of a kind. It makes every single one one of a kind. It has a V-neck, but it's not like a deep V. It's a middle V-neck. It's not super wide shoulders or anything. You got a front pocket, or a frocket as I like to call it. It's kind of a loose front pocket too, so it adds a little bit of kind of scrunchiness to it. Otherwise, a pretty flat textured dress. Like I said, the gold trim is around every single edge. It has it on the neckline. It's got it on the sleeves. It has it on the bottom. And then my favorite part is the back. It's this open back. Again, has that gold trim there, hangs down, and you can totally pair this with one of our mini bralettes. We have several bralettes that would look super fun underneath this, or you could wear this without a bralette under it, whatever floats your boat. It just kind of adds a little bit of sexy detail to just like a t-shirt dress, which I think is really fun. It just kind of makes it different, you know? This dress also, if you're interested in the length of it, I'm 5'3", and I would say this dress hits me at the knee. So this is a little bit of a longer dress if you're shorty like me. If you're a taller lady, then it would probably hit you a little bit above the knee. So it's not going to be a dress that's super short, like hard to wear around. This one is pretty long, so that way you don't feel like it is just like going to come up at any time. I love this dress. Last but not least, like a really important detail shirt I showed y'all last week, this dress is dyed. The way it's dyed, it's going to fade. It's going to fade and become, again, more one of a kind than it already is. And you're going to throw it in the wash, and it's gonna come out a little bit, and you're going to see it get a little bit more worn, a little bit more loved looking, and because of that, you probably don't want to wash this with anything else because the dye will bleed, but it's going to create a really cool look. And I would say just wash it separately forever, but I mean, it's only going to start to wash out for the first few washes, and then you're going to end up with a garment that is uniquely yours. That goes for both the gray version and the berry version that I'm about to pick up. And if you forget about that, or you just like aren't thinking, there is a tag on here that tells you that the garment is dyed, and it says, this item is garment dyed and is designed to fade to create the well-worn look of vintage pieces. Color loss will occur in the first washes and is a natural characteristic of the dyeing process. So there's the tea on that. Love this dress. I'm about to show y'all the berry one real quick just so you can see that one up close. Here's this kind of berry color. Very similar in the fact that it's like a little distressed looking. It's going to start to look more distressed. Same gold trim all the way around it. Same like opening right there. Same length. Same everything with a different color. Simple as that. And the shirt we actually did last week had the same kind of berry and gray color scheme to both garments. Alright guys, that is it for today. I hope y'all like the shirt. I hope you like the dresses. I hope y'all like the jewelry. As always, we go live on our Facebook page, Libby Story at 4 on Wednesdays, and here on our Instagram, The Libby Story at 4:30 on Wednesdays. We have our Instagram account and our Facebook account, Libby Story Richland, where we go live weekdays at 12 on Facebook and 12:30 on Instagram. And also, we have a giveaway of a Libby Story brand item that's happening over there if you're interested in checking that out. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If y'all have any questions, any comments, any suggestions as to what you would like to see on these lives, we can style things, we can show y'all maybe samples, we can show y'all, just continue to show y'all like what we have on the floor for the fall. Whatever works, I want to show y'all what y'all want to see. So please